if you went to court, you'd get twice what you would get, or something like that. So a mediator is going to be neutral. Both parties should talk to a lawyer independently, either during the mediation process or at least before they sign the final agreement.
What is divorce mediation and who is it best suited for?
So divorce mediation is when the parties work with a neutral person to help them come to agreements on every aspect of their divorce that they need to cover. A mediator can be a lawyer. In Massachusetts, it does not have to be a lawyer, but you do need a lawyer to draft an agreement. But there are professionals with mental health backgrounds and things like that who are trained as mediators and can work with parties to help them come up with the terms of the global settlement agreement. A mediator can't pull either person aside and say, hey, you're signing up for a bad deal. You can't, if you went to court, you'd get twice what you would get, or something like that. So a mediator is going to be neutral. Both parties should talk to a lawyer independently, either during the mediation process or at least before they sign the final agreement, so that they can get legal advice from that person.
Thank you so much. But I do believe the courts do encourage mediation because it's cheaper than litigation and it has a faster outcome and children are less exposed to conflicts.
Yes.
So on the long term, would you say that is the best pathway?
It can be a very good pathway for a lot of people. I think that it's a great place for parents to come up with a parenting plan for their children and to do that as a team. It allows parents to, because then you don't have someone in a robe telling you when you're going to see your children. You're working through those issues with a mediator. Can be good if both parties have to agree to mediation. So if both people are on board with it and are motivated to continue in that process, that's great. And I think it can be a very good fit for a lot of situations. If you have complex assets, sometimes it may be too much for you to negotiate on your own in a mediation session. It is possible to bring in a neutral financial person to the mediation process, maybe somebody with a tax background, an accountant, or a financial advisor, to help both sides understand what are the differences of these different assets and how do we fairly divide them. Another option that can be just as good, and it depends on the dynamic, is represented negotiation. And that's where both parties have their own lawyers, but you're not going to court. You just tell your lawyers, I have Molly Chung and I have John Smith, and have the lawyers call each other up and say, hi, I represent wife, hi, I represent husband, or whatever the spouses may be. Our clients want to get divorced and we're just going to start negotiating terms. And the court doesn't know anyone exists or that they're thinking about getting divorced, but you just start working on a resolution with two lawyers advising you without the neutral. So sometimes if that might be a better fit depending on the situation, but it's possible to talk to a mediator, to talk to a lawyer, and get a sense before you have to pick one path or the other.
Thank you. So when is it not appropriate then? Because I know that some spouses or couples will prefer the route you just explained. But when is it not appropriate?
Maybe when you have an imbalance in power or sophistication when it comes to different understanding, maybe different financial issues. There's a restraining order or a history of significant abuse. Meeting with a mediator might be difficult. There are some mediators who have the skill set to do that. Sometimes it may just be too one-sided to work. Sometimes one person just won't participate in mediation, and it's really a voluntary process, and it might help to have that person getting calls from their lawyer, hey, we got to get back to the other side on this. One problem that I see, it can happen in any situation, but is that people stick their head in the sand and stop responding to emails or let things go for months and months. So it can help if each person has somebody on their side to just move the ball forward.
Be safe and be positive. And don't forget to check out our social media handles. Thank you. Bye for now.